Good morning, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy, and hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. Today is Thursday, January 27th, and of course I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube. By the way, my Twitter handle is @LarrySteinhouse, and you can find me on Facebook and TikTok and other social media by just searching Larry Steinhouse. Hey, just remember, if you're watching online, hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. You can comment live on the show on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter, and please say hi so I know you're watching. Come on, guys, say hi. All right, Money Chat Now is, of course, brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class tonight, actually, by going to investorschooling.com. Hey, Joe, I want to say hi. Looking forward to seeing you tonight. All right. And by the way, if you come tonight, you'll also learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. You know, by the way, last night we had a really great night in Doylestown, and I wanted to shout out to a few people who were there. We had a great conversation with Joe, who's online right now, with Bill, Omri, Ted, and some others, and it was a great night. We'll be doing this again the last Wednesday of February, so pay attention and meet us there. Hey, Ed, thanks for watching. Totally appreciate it. All right, on today's show, we're going to be discussing the crazy futures update. This is the craziest market ever. We're going to be talking about Russian sanctions, Tesla's earnings, some more interesting stock moves, and Lowe's and Petco. Huh? Hey, Carrie, thanks for watching. All right, so yesterday, finally, a great day in the stock market. Or at least I thought it was going to be. What the? Holy cow. The market started out with fantastic upward motion, and then yikes. Right before the Fed meeting, most stocks jumped. And then, however, it just got a bit scary at about 2 o'clock when the Fed meetings were reported. At that time, I looked at my screens, and I saw stocks take a sharp downturn. You know, I hadn't really been watching or paying attention to the time or that the Fed report had come out, but when I saw the fast downturn, I knew the Fed had reported. And it looked like the stocks had recovered quickly, but then it was all over. The market tanked again as Powell said there is plenty of room to raise interest rates. You know, he took that out of context, or the news reports took that out of context. They said there's plenty of room to raise interest rates and keep the labor market normal. So, I don't know. Anyway, this stuff continues to baffle me, and the market already knows interest rates are being raised, so why are they going crazy over it? I mean, really, are they afraid the Fed's going to raise the interest rate 10 times this year? It's not going to happen. It's just plain unrealistic. You know, it was more like a ping pong ball being dropped as the market jumped up, then jumped down, then up, then down, and everything I had tanked. Look, maybe today will be another wild ride. I'm going to tell you that the futures were also a wild ride. So that was insane as well. It didn't make any sense. And of course, now the Dow futures are down 84, the S&P is down 3, and the NASDAQ happens to be up 16. Why can't we just have a good day? Urgh. Hey, Rob, I want to thank you for watching. Hey, Lou, thank you for watching. And of course, Mick, thank you for watching as well. All right, let's talk about Russian sanctions. As you know from listening to the show, our cowardly president is going to basically do nothing to stop Russia from invading Ukraine. Well, all right, it's not really nothing, of course. When it happens, and it appears to be inevitable, President Braindead will go on TV and he will tell the people how mean and evil Putin is for him to invade Ukraine, and then about halfway through the speech, he will forget about what he was talking about anyway and look to mommy for an ice cream cone. In part of that speech, he will remind us, of course, that he has placed sanctions against Russia. While most of the planet laughs because Russia really doesn't care, Russia has actually been faced with sanctions from the U.S. before, and like in 2014 when Russia invaded Crimea, Russia started to sanction-proof themselves and now may be in a position that they won't even notice anything or notice any difference. And when the U.S. issues these sanctions, they won't even care. So since 2014, Russia has weaned itself off the dollar and reduced the share of its debt held by foreign investors. So the government has run a has run a conservative fiscal policy and kept its government debt down below 20% of GDP. So Russia's debt is now under 20% of the gross domestic product, compared to, guess who? The U.S. with 133% of debt, according to IMF data. They definitely don't have the inflation problem that we're having with those numbers. All right, Russia has also amassed a significant financial buffer with international reserves, including gold holdings and foreign currency, reaching an all-time high of $630 billion in December, one of the world's biggest, according to the central bank. Moscow in 2014 barred most Western food imports, such as fruits, vegetables, meat, and dairy products, including French cheeses that have become a staple product among the middle class. The import substitution drive later expanded to other industries, including medicine, technology, stimulating domestic production. Russia has done a lot to keep themselves free of retaliatory sanctions from the U.S., but they may have one little issue in some areas. It's possible that the U.S. will consider disconnecting Moscow from the SWIFT international banking system, which is used by more than 1,100 financial institutions and over 200 countries. And, really, so basically it's going to prevent financial institutions from using the U.S. dollar. I just want to make sure we all heard that. It's going to prevent Russia from using the U.S. dollar. Look, I think it'll be an inconvenience at worst. And here's the interesting part. It may even strengthen cryptos like Bitcoin as an alternative for Russia. If this only real inconvenience turns into something major, it might affect Russia's connection to other countries and the ability to negotiate with the countries using the dollar. But as I've said before, I believe Russia will adapt quickly to this problem. So this is it, folks. The U.S. basically is powerless against Russia and Ukraine, and basically Ukraine will be part of Russia, and the geography is going to change labels once again. In fact, we stand to lose more than Russia if Russia decides to sanction us using oil. The Russian economy won't even feel the burden, as they will sell the oil to other nations and either cut off the U.S. or raise the prices. Hey, you guys like gas prices? Put up those stickers that say, I did that. Either way, there's going to be nothing really exciting or unexpected here, as we are powerless with the coward that we have in charge. If Russia invades, expect the stock market to go down and oil prices to pop, because they're going to go up real high. All right. Hey, Jane, thanks for watching. You're one of our favorite listeners. You're on every morning. That's so awesome. I know Tommy's out there, too. He'll be watching soon too. All right. Let's talk about Tesla earnings. So, look, frankly, it's been a miserable month for earnings, and this year, even the stocks with good earnings are getting beat up. Tesla reported earnings after the bell yesterday, and they were pretty good. And here's how the company performed. Earnings were $2.25 per share versus $2.36. It was the estimate. And the revenue was $17.72 billion versus $16.57 billion, which was expected. I also have to say that revenue rose 65% year over year in the quarter. That's amazing. While automotive revenue totaled $15.97 billion, which was also up 71%. I couldn't expect this company to do even better. Look, is it another great earnings report that will make the stock rise? I don't know, maybe. So Tesla says their factories are running below capacity while the supply chain issues continue. The supply chain issues are expected to continue into this year, and it'll affect Tesla as well as other companies. Look, I was looking about a week ago, I was looking for a Ford Edge. You guys have seen the Ford Edge. It's actually one of my favorite cars. And, I can't even buy one with the features I want. And if I want to order one, it'll be at least 6 months, and forget about haggling. I'm just glad they aren't charging me over list price for it. So Tesla is expected to give a progress update on the company's long-delayed heavy-duty semi-truck experimental, and also their experimental Cybertruck and plans for driverless vehicles. They also have, by the way, a car coming out that's going to be under $25,000. That'll be pretty neat. So the full self-driving technology is also on the radar. You guys like what I did there? The full self-driving technology is also on the radar. Anyway, as the company is growing to fully autonomize their vehicles. On a side note, Governor Useless in California should start to realize that Tesla's first U.S. factory, located in Fremont, California, achieved record production in 2021. If the useless governor doesn't do something to keep Tesla located in California, they will lose jobs and tax revenue from the giant electric car maker. Tesla also aims to expand the capacity of that facility beyond 600,000 cars next year. And look, we already know that Elon Musk already moved his headquarters to Texas because he doesn't like being in California, right? Let's talk real quickly about AT&T stock. Listen up, guys. You guys looking for a good stock to be in? Listen up. All right, let's talk about AT&T stock and why it's probably the best stock to buy and hold. Look, AT&T also had their earnings announcement yesterday, and the earnings and revenue was slightly higher than Wall Street expected. So why do I think this is the greatest stock to buy and hold? Well, first of all, they own HBO, TBS, that garbage company CNN, Turner, and they also include Warner Brothers. They also own a bunch of little media content companies, and they have their own internet provider and, of course, cell phones. The company reminds me of Apple about 5 years ago when no one was talking about it and it just stalled for a couple of years. AT&T stock is now at a ridiculously low price of under $25. At that price, you're going to get a dividend of over 8.5%. Just put your money in there and just collect the dividend. You're going to be blowing away Wall Street. Look, it's an amazing dividend. The company also has a multiple of only 8.79, making this stock an absolute bargain at this price. One of the first criteria I look for when evaluating a stock is a clear and profitable business model. Now, this company clearly has several businesses that all have clear and profitable business models. And basically, with the Fed raising interest rates and a probable recession coming in a few years, I think this stock should be added to your portfolio. Put it in a drawer, leave it alone. If you want, you could even sell covered calls on this stock just to make a few extra bucks. I really like this stock. I think it's a great one. Hey, Bill, I want to say hello to Katie. Katie is Bill's daughter, and she says hi. And I know Katie gets a thrill every time I say hi. So I'm going to say hi, Katie. And hey, Katie, listen to this commercial because we're going to be talking about investor schooling.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to thank you all for listening on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia. And if you're watching online, please hit that share button so you can help your friends learn about how to make more money in the stock market. Hit that like button and let me know you're enjoying the show. You can also leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube. And of course, I will try to respond to them live. Hey, Jose, top of the morning to you too, my friend. All right, we've been discussing, of course, the futures update, and let's just call it the futures down date. I mean, really? The Dow is now down 135 points, the S&P is down 8.5, and the NASDAQ is up 1.5 points. It's going to be another one of those days, I can already tell. We've been talking about Russian sanctions and how Russia isn't even going to care if President Poopy Pants does anything. We talked about Tesla's earning, and by the way, Tesla is down about 12 points this morning as well. Coming up, we have more interesting moves in the stock market, and we have an interesting article about Lowe's and Petco. Wait till you hear this. And then, of course, we have today's picks and plays. But first, did you guys hit that like button? Did you hit that share button yet? Hey, hit that share button, Jose. Hit that share button, Jane and Bill. Come on, Rob. Hit that share button. Don't forget to leave comments on Facebook and LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. And of course, if you're listening on WWDB Radio, be sure and set a preset to this station and listen every day at 7:30. Also, when you get home, look up Money Chat Now on Facebook and let me know what you think of the show. And you can also, of course, leave comments on the WWDB fan page on Facebook. All right, let's get into the second half and let's talk a little bit about some other notable moves. So here's some interesting things that happened in the stock market yesterday. So Netflix moved up, believe it or not, on the news when Bill Ackman with Pershing purchased 3.1 million shares to put in a fund. So Netflix was recently plummeted after an earnings report that showed slowing growth, and it brought the company down 40%. This doesn't even make any sense either, but it did. All right, I got to tell you though, I really don't like Netflix as a play, and I still think it's too high. You know, here's one here's another stock that I totally understand, and it also baffles me why this was hit so bad. So Lending Club shares fell 14.7%, despite reporting strong earnings and revenue for most of the recent quarter. Look, they had great earnings, but not only did Wall Street want more, but they feel that mortgages are going to slow down as interest rates rise. I got to agree with this a little bit. However, profits will also increase as mortgage rates go up, so we may have some hope that the mortgage banker stocks will do well. I don't know. It's kind of a weird situation. Anyway, Intel was another good report yesterday, and they both beat on earnings and revenue. On the news, they also raised their dividend, which is nice. It's not that great of it. It's not like an AT&T dividend, but it's not a bad dividend. I noticed the chart showed some big jumps over the past years, but the stock likes to sit here in the 49 to 55 range. And right now it's hovering right around 50, so it's clear that that's the range. Boeing is another one that reported earnings yesterday, and I'm going to tell you, this is a nutty stock. The company has had their share of problems, and that is definitely keeping the stock down. Yesterday, Boeing missed in all places. First of all, check this out. They had a loss of $7.69 a share, and the expected loss was 42 cents a share. Just think about that. Well, look, the stock went down, but it didn't trash, and normally it would have, because the reason for this loss was that the Dreamliner charge-offs, due to the delays and concessions for those delays, are causing Boeing, to take those losses. So Boeing may be in a little bit of trouble, but I have to say this is a speed bump. The future of this company is going to rebound and do well as the future of airlines rebuild their businesses and replace their planes. So I'm going to tell you, this company is going to be fine. I'd like to see it range right between, I don't know, whatever. If it ranges between 190 and 220, that's all good. Let's try to make some money on it. We'll see what happens. Hey, Victor, thanks again. Thanks for watching, man. I totally appreciate you. All right, let's talk about Lowe's and Petco. I don't know if you guys saw this, but you're gonna enjoy this. So I remember watching an old episode of Cheers. Anybody out there old enough to remember Cheers? When the character Norm, who sat in the corner and drank his beer, decided he was going to start an amazing new business called Tanawash. And if you haven't seen this episode, it's actually very funny. So this was going to be a laundromat and tanning booth center. The idea was to get a tan while you waited for your laundry to be cleaned, right? So the episode went on, and of course, he failed in comedic fashion and was back at the bar drinking his beer by the end of the half-hour show. However, this reminds me of Lowe's new idea to add Petco stores within Lowe's stores. I don't know. Have these guys been watching too much TV? Or maybe they're drinking too much beer. What a crazy idea this is. Lowe's stores, like Home Depot stores, are pretty active warehouse stores with heavy equipment moving around large boxes and builder items. I often think it's crazy when people bring their small children to these stores, and now people may actually bring their pet to the store. Not only is that dangerous for the pet, but imagine the distraction for a forklift operator or someone pulling a large cabinet off the top shelving. Let's also look at what they're selling. These are really, really two different customers. You have builders and weekend warriors being the main customer for Lowe's. And yes, I know they have pets, but what's the logic? Why not just sell groceries as well then? I'm sure that someone in the household of Lowe's shopper eats now and then, right? What about clothes? Now that Carhartt is being boycotted by American patriots for freedom, maybe Lowe's can start selling dresses made for men. It'll probably be a hot item soon as we lose the American male macho man icon anyway in America. Well, I'm sure people above my pay grade have looked at this ridiculous idea and gave it the okay. So look for Petco and Lowe's in a few months. And don't forget that someone in Petco may actually be buying pet food for a house without pets for their child who is considering themselves a furry. Oh, you don't know about furries? Oh boy, I could do a whole show on that one. But just know that some teachers have actually put litter boxes in the back of the room for the furries. All right, I tell you what, I'm going to take a commercial while you look it up. What in the world is this coming to?
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. So far we've been discussing the futures update, and right now the Dow is still down 105, the S&P is down 4.25, and the Nasdaq is up 17. We talked about Russian sanctions and basically how President Poopy Pants will do nothing. We talked about Tesla's earnings and how well they're doing. We talked about some other interesting moves in the market, and we talked about the silliness of Lowe's opening Petco, and I'm looking forward to see that. All right, I want to say hello to Dave, and I want to say hello to, I think that's Mike, and I want to say hello to Vern. Thanks, guys. All right, coming up is today's picks and plays. But first, did you guys hit that like button? Did you hit that share button? Come on, Vern, hit that share button. Dave, hit that share button. And you could share this on your page or in groups that you feel will benefit from the great stock plays coming up. All right. Also, you can leave comments on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about the politics behind the stock market. And I promise you'll even get a laugh now and then. All right. Hey, stock market, knock it off already! Damn it! I know Moderna needs to make more profit for Pelosi, but just because you aren't selling vaccines at a high rate anymore doesn't mean you have to give everybody high blood pressure to sell your blood pressure medications. Ugh! All right, we have seen the most ridiculous moves since the beginning of the year, and each time I think something good is going to happen, nothing happens or it gets worse. Even the Asian stocks were down big time yesterday when the Nikkei fell 840 points. I don't know. It's going to be a worldwide slam, and I wish it would get over already. It's a tough market to predict. Usually earnings seasons brings great upward momentum, but I'm seeing all year that I'm just seeing disastrous downturns and no upward momentum, only downward momentum. I don't know. I don't even know what to do or say right now. It's got me absolutely baffled. It's also been a week since the craziness started when last Thursday the market flew up and then tanked in the afternoon. Usually these routes last about a week, so hopefully it's over. The damage in my portfolio is a bit rough. I plan to recover, but wow, it's really rough. So Apple is on deck for earnings today, and although I expect it to be great earnings, I'm even going to expect it to be good guidance, but I don't see the stock bouncing up to 180 again anytime soon. Visa and MasterCard are also announcing earnings, and this may be another tell for the market depending on the guidance. We're going to have to see what that is. Of course, we also have, believe it or not, Robinhood up today as well. And this is going to be the most interesting earnings of the day. And we'll see if this company can recover or has any holding power whatsoever. I don't know. I'm a little worried about it, but I'm not in it anymore. I got out as soon as it went below 30. I realized I didn't think it was a good play anymore. All right, let's talk about crypto. Crypto also dropped a bit yesterday, and I'm finding it interesting that the money managers are looking for safe places to put their money, and it's not easy. None of the safe havens or normal moves are working. It's almost like cash is your best defense against this market. So you may even consider that. Even gold and silver aren't really moving. Gold is stuck at about 1800 and silver bounces between 22 and 24. I would look at ETFs like Yamana Gold with the symbol AUY and silver ETF SLV, and when they dip, I don't know, buy in and sell them when they move up about 20%. Of course, the Treasury Bond also moved up again yesterday, and it's now about 1.88. And I'm going to tell you, 2 is going to be an emotional rough ride for the market until the market gets used to it. So I would expect it to hit 2, but definitely when it does, it's going to be really, really scary and not going to be a good place for the market. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the most important thing. I wanted to thank all you guys, all you listeners on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia, and of course I want to thank you for your continued support. I heard that we actually reached 10 listeners now on WWDB Radio. So if you're listening and you're number 10, congratulations. You won $100. Just let me know if you're the number 10th listener. All right. You can also leave comments on the WWDB fan page, and you can look for us online. My name is Larry Steinhouse, and I am the host of Money Chat Now, and I'm also the CEO of Investor Schooling. Of course, from time to time, I own some of the assets and stocks discussed in this show, and no one's asked me to make my opinions. Some people have asked me not to make my opinions. I just want to let you know, I totally appreciate you guys listening. And once again, you guys let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you like the show. And of course, have a profitable day. And we will see you guys tomorrow at 7:30.